Good afternoon, class. Today we are learning on a topic: health hazard and safety precautions of ICT tools. But before we proceed on today's lesson, I would like us to revise on the previous lesson we had last week. And if you can recall, we learned something on ICT tools and their uses. We discussed that ICT tools are devices or objects used for information and communication technology purposes. And this includes mobile phones, computers, radio, television, PA systems, and so forth. So today's lesson is going to help us to understand some of the possible health hazards associated for long-term exposure to these ICT tools. Therefore, by the end of this lesson, I expect you to be able to identify health hazards associated with long-term exposure to ICT tools. State safety precautions for the use of ICT tools. Adopt a good posture and attitude towards the use of ICT tools. I believe most of you have seen people with hearing and vision impairments. And most of these problems result from high usage of these ICT tools or long-term exposure to these ICT tools. So let's discuss about some of the possible health hazards associated with long-term exposure to ICT tools. But before that, one may ask, what is health hazard and also safety precautions? When we say health hazard, they are the possible risk or implications that may affect someone for using ICT tools for a very long time. And safety precautions means that the necessary precautions or the necessary actions needed to be taken in order to avoid this health hazard that are associated for long-term exposure to ICT tools. Therefore, we will talk about some of the ICT tools and their various associated health hazards. There are various health problems associated with the regular use of ICT tools. One is radio. Radio is one of the common ICT tools most people use for getting information or listening to news and other purposes. And sometimes we are fan of increasing the volumes of this device in order to hear whatever the presenters are talking about clear. We frequently increase the volumes of the radio, and by doing so This can affect or damage someone's hearing. PA system. PA systems is used to reinforce a given sound to the general public. And one of the possible health hazards for regular use of PA system is increasing the volume of the PA system can cause damages to the hearing. Mobile phones. Mobile phones is also one of the popular, or let me say common device we use for accessing information online, chatting, video conferencing, sending messages, emails, and so many purposes. And because we use it often, it can affect our health issues by causing cancer and also affect our visions. Television. Television is also one of the common device we use our homes and offices. We use this device to watch movies, listen to news, sports, and other activities. And the possible health hazard that can pose an effect on someone using this device for a very long time is vision issues, or let me say can affect someone's sight by sitting close to TV. Computers. Computers are one of the electronic devices we use to transmit information and process it, and also print out an output for users. And this can result so many health issues. Staying long in front of a computer causes wrist pain, back pain, and affect the sight. We will talk about some of these health issues and measures to curb this health problem as far as computers are concerned. Now, let's discuss about some of the safety measures to avoid backache and neck pain for using computers. One is use a fully adjustable chair. Two, use a footrest so that the legs are kept at a more natural angle. Use a monitor which is adjustable. Lastly, take regular breaks and walk away. So these are some of the measures needed to be taken in order to avoid backache and neck pain when using computers. Also, let's talk about some of the safety measures to avoid eye strain. Use monitors which don't flicker. 2. Have a blind at the window so that the sun doesn't shine directly on the screen. Third, keep your eyes at least 80 inches from the screen. Fourth point, take a regular break, at least 5 minutes break every hour. And lastly, have regular eye tests and wear glasses if prescribed. So all these measures are needed to avoid eye strain for using computers. Now we are going to talk about the various precautions needed to avoid health hazard for using ICT tools. So this combines all the ICT tools we talk about. One, do not answer or receive calls when charging mobile phones. Many users are fond of doing this. Doing this, we mostly answer calls when charging mobile phones, and these are bad habits. We need to put a stop to it. We should avoid plugging ICT tools in dummy sockets. Whenever there is a dummy socket, you need to repair by calling for an electrician to repair those sockets before plugging in ICT tools. If these problems are not solved and you use or you plug in any tools, this can cause fire explosion. Also, do not overload socket. We should avoid the way we overload a socket. Also, ensure a good posture when using ICT tools. We will have a thorough discussion on this in a subsequent slides. Take regular breaks when working with ICT devices. Do not stare at a television for a long time. Minimize the volume of your PA system, and lastly, minimize the volume of your radio device. So all these precautions are some of the measures we need to use in order to avoid this health hazard that may affect our health for using ICT tools. All right, let's discuss about some of the good posture for using personal computers. We have various ways that we can pose for using personal computers in order to get rid of back pain, neck pain, eye strains, and wrist pain. And these measures will help us to refrain from this bad habit we use on our computers. One, our eyes should be slightly above the top of the screen and not less than 50 centimeters from the screen. Two, sit upright and close to the desk. Three, forearms should be approximately horizontal and supported by the desk. A space in front of the keyboard to allow hands and wrists to rest when not typing. Fourth point, keep wrists straight when keying or typing. Position a mouse within easy reach so it can be used with a straight wrist. Legs should have room to move under the desk. Choosing a chair with round edge or curved cushion seat can avoid excess pressure from the edge of seat on the backs of legs and knees. A footrest may be helpful. So as I said, if you take these necessary precautions, It will ease you from back pain, neck pain, eye strains, and various health hazards that are associated for long-term use of computers. Now let's look at a clear picture or a picture of how to pose when using computer. So over here you can see a diagram of a beautiful lady posed correctly or nicely that will help her not to get any back pain, neck pain, and some of the problems for using computer. So the first point that we talk about, we said that your eye should be set on top of the screen at on top of the screen. Also, you can also see that there is a wrist support if required there at where the mouse and the keyboard is, so that it will help her in typing or keying data. At the back of the seat, we also have four arms roughly horizontal, and you can also identify that there is a chair with adjustable seat height as well as adjustable back height and height. And also there is a foot rest below the desk. So all these diagrams helping us to know how best we can post when using computer. So students, if you comply with these rules or these precautions, it will help us solve problems of the back pain, neck pain, and many health issues that affect us when using these ICT tools. So we have come close to today's lesson, but I want us to remind ourselves on what we've discussed so far. Today we have talked about the possible health hazard associated with long-term exposure to ICT tools. We have talked about radio, which can affect our hearing by increasing volumes, television, sitting close to television can affect our visions, and regular use of mobile phones can also cause cancer. And lastly, computers can also cause back pain, wrist pain, eye strains by using it for a very long time. We've also talked about safety precautions for the use of ICT tools, which includes not answering or receiving calls when charging mobile phones, ensure a good posture when using ICT tools, take regular breaks when working with ICT devices. And lastly, we've also talked about how to adopt good posture and attitude towards the use of computer devices. And I showed you a picture on how to sit correctly when using computer. So there will be an assignment for you to submit next week. So I want you to identify 5 possible health hazards associated to ICT tools. state 5 safety precautions for the use of ICT tools, and lastly, briefly explain how to adopt good posture and attitude towards the use of computer. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye bye.